Hello and welcome one more week. This week I'm gonna speak to you about something that is very trendy at the moment and that I think that it's gonna be a revolution for all our lives. For good, for bad, I don't know, but definitely a revolution. And it's the artificial intelligence or AI. Okay. And how can you use it properly in your leadership role with your team, in your project? Because there are like plenty of usages of this AI. And I think that mastering this way to use AI is going to be a key skill in the years to come. With no further ado, let's get to the content of the video. My name is Borja Marin and this is Corporate Cat. The first thing I want to talk to you about is what is the AI. I think that by now everybody knows widely what is an AI, but basically it's a program based of machine learning that tries to do activities that usually are done by human intelligence and requires a lot of processes like understanding, interpretation, and so on. More specifically, today I want to speak to you about one type of AI, that is the generative AI. Generative AI is the kind of artificial intelligence that, based on some instructions called prompts, they will generate text, image, code, or audio. The main example of this kind of generative AI is ChatGPT, but you can find as well Gemini from Google, Copilot from Microsoft, but as well DALL-E, Night Cafe, and there are many more. Why AI is important for business? Probably if you are in the business, in the operational industry, IT, you see how AI is being used massively to substitute processes and speed things. For me, I see that a little bit like the Industrial Revolution, where now the paradigm of how we work needs to be shifted into something different. So this is why I consider that mastering or understanding and mastering how to use generative AI is going to be a must in our lives. To that, I'm going to start by teaching you what is a prompt and how to create good prompts. As said before, a prompt is the instruction you give to the program with the indication of what do you want the program to generate. Okay, for example, I'm going to use an example that I practice a lot, that it's cooking. I like cooking and I cook a lot with AI. So whenever I need a recipe, I go to ChatGPT and I put my prompt, okay? Now, how is a good prompt constructed? Ideally, it has 2 or 3 parts. The first part is the context. The second part is the body. And the third part, that it's optional, it's the example. That helps a lot to the AI. So let's start with the first part of the prompt, context. You want to give as many details of the situation you are to make sure that the AI understands what is exactly what you're looking for. In the cooking example, for example, I want to say, I'm looking for a diet that helps me eat healthier, reduce fat, and use less meat. And it's done with cheap ingredients that I can buy in bulk, so I save money. This is the context. The second part is the body. The body starts with the verb. So here is where we tell the AI what is exactly what we need. In this case, my prompt is going to say, create a list of recipes that I can use week on week based on the previous context. And then the third part is the example. For example, let's say that there is a specific dish that you already like and you would like to include this or something similar. You can say in the prompt, for example, stew of chickpeas with tomato sauce, or lentils soup. This will help the AI to generate better way the recipe that you're looking for, or the list of recipes that you're looking for. So in a recap, context, body with the action verb, that's very important, the action verb, and the example. Let's go to business and let's see how can you use that in the business environment to make your work easy and faster. There are plenty of ways that you can use AI in business, but I'm going to focus on 3 specific solutions that I use quite a lot. The first one is writing emails, recommendations, or evaluations. Now, a lot of people will say like this is very impersonal and they are against that and all that stuff, which it has a point. However, there is one interesting point about AI. It's first, you can personalize it as much as possible and you can reiterate it. If it's something you don't like, you can keep asking to refine the answer until it sounds exactly how you want. For me, I don't see it like impersonal. I see it like having a personal assistant that will do a work that you actually don't need to do and that would save you time. For instance, imagine that you need to do 10 evaluations and you need to write 100-word evaluation for 10 people in your company. The idea is like, oh, if you make it with AI, it's going to be very impersonal. But I think no, because you're telling the AI exactly what they need to put. The AI, it's only doing it, doing the final result, like writing it and put it in order exactly the way that you have it in your head. So for example, let's start with one, context. I'm writing an evaluation for the end of the year for my employee, which name is John. John is a highly motivated team leader. His strengths are his capacity of engagement, as well he is resilient when something goes wrong. As well, he has achieved spectacular numbers with his team by improving 15% the production capacity month on month. For that, I'm very grateful to John. Context. Body. Create evaluation in 100 words. Like make it like in a professional language and make sure you include all the previous points from John. In that case, for example, I don't have an example, but let's say that AI will give you the text and you're not fully convinced. Now, as I said, the good point of that is like you can reiterate and say, okay, I didn't like the second line, change it a little bit, or make the tone a little bit more personal, make the tone a little bit less business and a little bit more casual. Then you have exactly the kind of evaluation that you want. Then you can copy that and use this as an example for the next evaluation. But you will put that, okay, my next person that I need to evaluate is Jane. Jane has these qualities. Jane has achieved this. Jane needs to improve that. Generate 100 words evaluation. Based on this evaluation, then you paste the previous one. And then again, you iterate. As you see, it's not that simple as, generate random information about this person or this other person. You need to know what you need to ask to the AI and what you need to put, and this will only help you to channel all that stuff. And it will save you a lot of time that you can use for more valuable thing. The second example I want to give you is the example of Excel. If you work in IT and operations, there is high chances that you're using Excel or Google Sheets a lot. In many times, we struggle to do the simple things unless you have gone to specific courses or so. I use AI a lot for my Excels. Actually, my Google spreadsheet, I use Google spreadsheets more than Excel, but anyways, the case is the same, right? So I use that a lot because, again, the great point of AI compared to the traditional Google search is that you can be as specific as you need to be on that. Like let's make an example of a prompt that will give you something. Let's say that I'm working on a yearly budget for my company, and I want a specific tab that I can have a roll down menu with different months, and it will give me the 10 bigger expenses of my company based on a data sheet that I'm inputting. Okay, so I say to the AI, I have a tricks. In one tab, I have a set of data that picks all the expenses that I have during the year. In column A, I have the dates. In column B, I have the concepts. And in column C, I have how much I'm spending in each concept. I have given the context. Now, the body. Generate the instructions for a new tab in which I will have a roll down menu with all the months. And when I select a month, it will give back the results of this specific month with a box for how much in total I have spent. This is like a very simple example, right? However, then you can complicate it as much as you need and start adding things. Now I need you to exclude this and this, and it will generate the formula, and then you can iterate that as much as possible. The third example I want to give you is, for example, if you are brainstorming something, there is a situation that it's new for you, for your team, and you need a starting point. It's gonna be very good. Like, let's say, for example, you want to increase engagement in your team, and you want to create some activities, and you have a estimated budget. So again, let's go with the prompt. I am a manager in a company, and I would like to create activities every month that will help people get more engaged. These activities needs to be done inside the working time, and it should take around 1 hour every week. My budget is $500 per month. Generate a list of ideas that matches the requirements above. For example, yoga classes. Then you will get this. And again, the good point is like, you don't need to follow AI, but it will give you a starting point in which it will trigger a lot of new ideas for you and for your team. I hope that this was useful. There is one more thing I want to speak to you. I want to speak about, considering the AI. It's the controversy about if actually AI is gonna take our jobs, and it's gonna be very bad for us. This is my personal opinion, and I think that what is gonna happen is like it's a change of the paradigm of how we work. But I always want to compare it with other kind of application, like for example, Google Maps or Waze when it comes to driving. At the beginning, you can think that because this is happening, a profession like a taxis is not gonna be longer useful, or is gonna be like removed. But actually, what happened is like the new apps open the door for a lot of people that maybe they don't have the knowledge, they don't need to have the exact knowledge of how to navigate the city by heart and knowing all the streets and so on. And it opened the door to all these people to take a car and start driving. You can think, if you're probably a taxi driver, this is bad for you. But there are many things that as a professional and tenured taxi driver, you know better than the AI. Like, you know better shortcuts, you know better what time of the day it's better to take one road to the other. So my take on that is combination is the key. So yeah, it's true that now a lot of people will be able to drive, but if you are a tenured taxi driver and you learn how to use AI, you will have advantage over all these people that only take the AI, because you will have all the knowledge in the AI plus your own knowledge on it. And I think that this is applicable to every field, like for example with Excel. Now, whenever I create an Excel sheet, I don't really need to have all this knowledge because I'm getting a lot of help from AI. But obviously, somebody that is saving Excel will know how to ask better and will know how to exploit all the possibilities of the AI to get better results. So my take is we should not see that with fear, but embrace it with excitement learn how to create prompts, learn what are the limits of the AI, and learn experiment. So my advice to you is go right now, create an account in the AI that you like. My favorite is ChatGPT, and start experimenting everything from how to change electrical wiring in your house, how to create stories, how to create games for an engagement meeting, ideas of activities when you meet with your friends, how to cook, anything. So experiments, become better with the prompts, and use it to improve your life. Okay, I think that this is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If there is anything that you would like to add, please add it in the comments, or leave me a comment in any of my platforms. Please, if you haven't done it yet, I will encourage you to follow on any of my socials in LinkedIn, YouTube, or Instagram, and subscribe to this channel. And I hope to see you the next week. Have a nice week. Bye.